Hello, my true crime lovelies. How are you? I hope you are well. I hope you are as lovely in life as you are in my mind. I've got a quick update on Donna Adelson. She's filed a notice of deposition. Some of them you may know, some of them you may not know, the people that she wants to depose. So I want to go over them with you. Also, didn't the judge tell her they only could have depositions for new items? Um, when we go over the list, I want your opinion on if you think like there would be new items from these folks. But first, let me run the intro and I'll talk to you on the other side. All right, let's get into it. She filed this yesterday on 6/26 at 1:54. Notice of taking depos. Please take notice that the defendant, Donna Adelson, will take the depositions by oral examination of the persons named below. It will take place at Leon County Courthouse. So Jason Nulan on the 9th of July, Chris Corbett on the 10th of July, Mary Hull on the 14th, Patrick Sanford on the 16th, and Sherrie Bennett on the 17th. They're going to be busy. There'll be a court reporter and a notary public who is not of counsel to the parties or interested in the events of the cause for the purpose of discovery, use at trial, or for such other purposes as are permitted under the Florida Rules of Criminal Procedure. Okay, so I made a little PowerPoint so we can put a name with the face. So Jason Nulan, chief investigator of the Office of the State. There's a little bit of hubbub. This I pulled from Tallahassee Democrat 2016. So he and his wife were accused of some scuttlebutt, but then Georgia and Willie Meggs, remember we talked about Willie Meggs in the Jackie Fulford Fall from Grace video? So, in response to a message earlier that day from TPD investigator Steve Dawes that said a resident told him the wife of state attorney's office investigator Jason Nulan had dished details of the investigation to a coworker. The information was quickly passed up the chain of command to Tallahassee Police Department Chief Michael Delio and Deputy Chief Daryl Farouset. State Attorney Willie Meggs said he looked into the matter and found both Nulan and his wife have not said any such thing. I have tremendous confidence in both of them, he said. Chief Assistant State Attorney George Kappelman echoed Meg's comments, adding she read the emails and isn't concerned about confidential information leaking out of the office. And I think it was alleged that it wasn't a leak, it was a gush. Make of that what you will. And then I've got that quote on the top from Georgia regarding my office in Tallahassee PD not getting along. We do frequently have disagreements, and this case is not an exception. She also said she thinks it's because they're passionate about justice for Dan Markell and justice for his family. So Sergeant Chris Corbett, recognized as one of the leading national experts in the field of phone data and geographical cell phone tracking. So, the digital evidence played a huge role in this, from messages that were sent. From the very beginning, it came up in the initial cases like the Katie McVanoa and Sigfredo Garcia, and then obviously in Charlie's, and it's going to play a part in Donna's, right? Because we have her on the wire. So I put that quote up there when Charlie asked, who does it involve after the bump? And she said, probably the two of us. So he was responsible for tracking cell phone data. He was able to identify frequency of calls, timing of calls, location of the parties at the time of such calls. The evidence demonstrated a pattern of calls between co-conspirators Charlie Adelson, Donna Adelson, Katie McBanawa, and Sigfredo Garcia during crucial time periods before, during, and after the murder. More importantly, it provided the co-conspirators' actions and locations after the FBI bump, which led to very damaging evidence, damaging and damning against Charlie Adelson, Donna Adelson, and Katie McBanawa. And remember, Donna was writing checks to Katie because a lot of folks were like, well, why does Katie need to come? What is she going to say? Donna was writing checks that were sequential to Katie under the auspice of Katie being an employee of the Adelson Institute. Yet there was no documentation to show that she ever worked there. So Mary Hall can help tie that together. She is a financial investigator. Significant increase in cash deposits into Catherine McBanawa's bank account following Dan Markel's murder in 2014, including a large spike in August of 2014. A financial investigator is Mary, who reviewed the bank records of the Adelson family, their dental practice, the Adelson Institute, and the trio of people already convicted. She testified about cars and motorcycles the hitman bought after the murder and $1,000 flight to the Dominican Republic that Charlie Adelson bought for McBanawa in March of 2015. She also described records showing the Adelson Institute wrote McBanawa a total of 44 checks, most in $400 increments, starting nearly 2 months to the day of the murder. She could find no evidence of timesheets or W-2s, proving McBanawa really worked there. Also, I believe she looked at tax returns, and obviously Katie didn't file a tax return because she didn't have a W-2. But just like looking for all the corroborating evidence that she never worked for the Adelson Institute. So, Sergeant Sherrie Bennett. So, in Katie's trial, she was a witness for the defense, tying things together. So that was interesting. But she was involved in interviewing various witnesses throughout the case, including a relative of Katie's. She had an investigative role as a TPD investigator. She was involved in the broader investigation, including evidence collection. And like I said, she was a defense witness. May have used her testimony to expose inconsistencies in other witnesses, but usually you don't see that, right? Like you have someone from the police department testifying for the defense. I thought that was interesting. And then we have Patrick Sanford, FBI agent. I think most of us recognize Mr. Sanford, Agent Sanford, from Donna's arrest at Miami International Airport when he said, "Do you recognize me?" She was like annoyed. She was annoyed about the whole thing. Like, how dare Dan's death be an issue? How dare his murder be investigated? But yeah, so he's a veteran FBI agent. He worked closely with Detective Isom to solve the Markel murder. He was present during proffers with Rivera. He was also present during some of the initial interviews that we saw. He surveilled McBanawa's home and he helped conceive of the bump operation. And then, whoops. So that was a template in there. Those are our players that they're looking to depose. I have to go back and look at some footage because I swear Judge Everett told them to knock it off with the depositions or they could depose like new ground but not recovered. I know for sure they were not allowed to redepose Rob Adelson. But for some reason, I thought Samford was off the list too. Do you guys have a different memory? I'm going to do more research, but I just wanted to get this out to you that they're back to filing depositions. Will they happen this time? I don't know because we've seen them file, that they wanted to depose them and they had dates. And then later, those were rescinded. So July 8th, is that next week? No, it's the week after next. So we'll see if they follow through with any of these this time. But I wanted to share with you a new filing. I was just docket watching this Friday. So let me know your thoughts. I'll talk to you in the comments. I appreciate you. Toodles.